You know, I gotta tell you, I haven't been more upset like this in years. I'm livid. I'm frustrated. I'm upset, and I'm gonna take my revenge out on a small group of innocent kids. Let me explain. All right, let me explain what's been going on here. First of all, I lost my wallet. I lost my one and only pink pig wallet, of which they no longer manufacture. I can't order it online. I've been to all the stores here. They don't make that wallet anymore. It's gone. So what does your boy do? Your boy decides to go to the bank, Wells Fargo, to get a temporary replacement card, which is a very common practice. Now, luckily for me, I have an ID, but it's an older ID. It has a little bit of an expiration date. It expired in 2017, which shouldn't be an issue because it has my face on it, has my name on it, it has all the information that you need, and I have my social security number and my card ready at hand. So what do? Your boy goes to Wells Fargo and I say, "Hey man, I need a temporary card." And she says, "No problem. No problem, man." And I go, "Hey, here's my ID." And she says, "That's great. It's a little bit expired though." And I go, "You could see the face on the ID, ma'am, and you could see that it matches my face. Does it not?" And she goes, "Yes, it does, but it's expired." So I say, "Hey, man, I still have my social security card and I could answer all the questions that are relevant so that you could give me a temporary card." And she says, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a ID. I'm gonna need a non-expired ID. You're gonna have to go and purchase." Purchase with what, you dumb bitch? So I said, "Listen, all right, I tried that, and unfortunately, I don't know if you know the way things work, ma'am, but you need a credit card and or a debit card in order to purchase an ID. That's the way it works. If I want to get an ID replaced, I have to purchase it with a credit card, of which I do not have because I lost my wallet. So therefore, I need a temporary card so I could purchase said ID." And she goes, "Well, I can't do anything here, sir. So I don't have an ID. I don't have a credit card. I don't have a debit card. It's all coming. It's all coming later. But if I want to buy something now, unfortunately, I cannot because of the retardation nation that is the process of losing your goddamn wallet." So I'm upset. I'm upset, but you know what? I'm still going to carry on with the video today. I'm still going to carry on and do a video for you guys on this little bit of an incomplete idea, something with a triumph. All right, little bit of a dual reality bit. So stick around. You might learn something you might like. See, I'm also very upset because I used a powder. I used a little bit of a powder on my neck and my upper cheek to shave. It's a magic powder. I learned about this hack on TikTok, and you could rub the powder on your face and it removes hair. However, I have fucking irritation on my neck. So I'm gonna have to see what it is that I need to do to fix that because that might actually lead into some sort of fucking cancer. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated as to the progress of my face and or neck and see if I develop a baseball-sized tumor, of which I would hope would rid me of this credit card ID mess. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself so far. Today I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a triumph dual reality. Now this is what I would consider to be an incomplete idea. All right, I've put a lot of these on the channel. It's an incomplete idea. It just simply means that it's something that's not complete. It's something that you guys are going to have to work on and develop and make into your own. I'm just going to give you the skeleton. I'm just going to give you the skeleton and you guys are going to have to work on it yourselves. All right. So this is the idea. It's a very simple one. I'm going to show it to you after I show the Pigcake Magic Academy. $5 a month, 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, coin stuff. If you're part of the Academy tier, you're automatically a part of the Piggybacker tier, which is 2 additional tutorials you get nowhere else. Over 600 videos already. If you join today, you have access to all of them. You have access to absolutely all of them. So you should join today and help yourself out and help me out because that's how I make these videos through the Academy. And that's how I also have a roof. So make sure to check that puppy out. Link is in the description below. So here's the trick. You're going to have a deck of cards and you actually take this deck and you're going to mix it face up into face down. So right now these cards are actually going to get mixed face up into face down. We have cards that are face to face, back to face, back to back. We have cards that are backed. We have cards that are faced. We have a bunch of cards here, sir. There are cards going every single direction. What I want you to do is I want you to take this mixed deck of playing cards and I want you to go over there to the other corner of the room where usually people urinate when they are drunk. I want you to go right there, and I want you to just spread through the deck, and whatever card you happen to deem is a card that stands out to you. So if it's a face down card that happens to stand out to you, I want you to pull it out and put it in your pocket, sir. Make sure to look at it before you put it in your pocket. And the spectator goes to the corner, and of course they take out a card. In this case, they put it inside of their pocket, and they put the deck back in your hand, and you take the deck and you say, sir, it's a mixed deck of cards, right? You could have taken any card out, but I'm going to just wave my hand. I'm going to wave my hand and say that you have the jack of clubs in your hand. And of course, when a spectator happens to look in the pocket, guess what? It happens to be the jack of clubs. How did I do this? How did you did this? How'd you did this? Well, this is a very simple use of a triumph and a dual reality principle. So if you're not familiar with the dual reality principle, it's a very easy thing. It means that there are two realities taking place simultaneously, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say you go up to the spectator and you give him a deck of cards with one single card inside of it. However, the rest of the audience just saw you mix the cards face up and face down. The realities are different. So the audience thinks that the deck of cards has a bunch of face up and face down cards, whereas this spectator, his reality is this one single face up card. So that's just an example, right? That's just an example. So let me explain the trick after showing exactly how it was done. So you're doing a triumph. You're doing a triumph. Essentially, you're just doing a triumph. So in this case, the setup is simple. The card that you want predicted, the card that you want is going to be face down on the bottom of a face up deck, just like this. So this is just on the bottom. Make sure you don't flash it. Make sure you use deck with a border. I sounded like an Asian car salesman there, but make sure you use a deck with a border, because otherwise it's going to be very easy to spot this card in this deck. And all you're going to do is a simple move here known as the Tenkai reversal. You're going to do the Tenkai reversal, which is a simple move where you're going to lift up half of the cards. So you're just going to, with your right dirty hand, you're going to lift up half the cards, and you're going to turn this face up. Now you're going to do this at the same time that you're turning this deck in your left hand face up as well. So if you do both of these actions like this, it just looks like nothing's changed, that you've turned this half face up and this half is still face down. However, if you've noticed, these are all face up cards. That's a single face down card, and this entire half is face up. So at speed, it just looks like this. You're repositioning the card so you can now grip it and squeeze them together. That's the point of you doing this particular action, but it's a very convincing one. And now essentially what you're doing is mixing face-up cards into face-up cards apart from this one. You see what's happening here, buddy? So what's going on is that the spectators are getting the impression that you are mixing all the cards into each other, face up and face down. Now, when you show the cards this way, showing the fact that there are cards face to face, back to face, back to back, that there are cards going every single direction, all you're doing is just a series of false cuts. So you're giving the deck the illusion of a cut. However, nothing's really taking place. I'm swing cutting the cards onto my left hand, keeping a break, cutting this back to the top, doing a double undercut, just to give the impression that the cards are mixed face up and face down. They're seeing different face up cards. They're seeing supposedly different face down cards, but really it's all the same card. You see that? And that's just a double undercut. That's all I'm doing here, a double undercut. So it looks like there are a bunch of cards mixed, but really it's just one single card, buddy. So here, all you're gonna do is at some point you're gonna cut this card to the middle of the deck. You're gonna tell the spectator you want them to go to the corner and you want them to spread through the cards. And when they see a face down card they like, they take that card and put it inside of their pocket. Now it's gonna be up to you whether you want them to see it or not, but ultimately what you're doing here is essentially having a stooge. You are instantly stooging the spectator, which is another technique in mentalism where you are giving the spectator a little bit of the secret, here. Obviously, there's no other cards that they could pick. They're only going to be able to pick one card that's facing the other way. So they're going to get a little bit of a micro effect there when they spread the cards and go, what? That's crazy. And this is going to be a force card. So the rest of the audience is going to have a completely different effect here when this spectator happens to put this card inside of their pocket, they come back with the deck, you go, you could have picked any card, right? Yeah, you could have picked any card. And now you pretend to reveal the card in whatever way you want. Let me fix this here. So what you have here is essentially a way of having the spectator supposedly pick any card in the deck after mixing the cards face up and face down, and you still have the ability not only to predict it, but you also know it in advance. So that's a nice little property of the actual trick in itself. Now you might be remiss to ask what happens if the spectator says something. Well, if they say something, then you have a triumph. Essentially, you have a triumph effect where all the cards have fixed themselves apart from one. So you have a nice little bit of a trick there in case the spectator happens to say, hey, all the cards are the same direction. You don't want to do that. So when you play around with dual reality, you're going to have a good presentation, right? You're going to have a good presentation. I've put a couple dual reality bits on the channel here, but this is an incomplete idea. It's going to be up to you guys to figure out how you want to perform it and how it is that you want to actually show it to an audience. But it's a very interesting one because the spectators, again, are all getting different interpretations of what's actually taking place. So this spectator sees all the cards going in one direction apart from one. The rest of the audience thinks that the deck is a mess of face up cards and face down cards. So it's an interesting way of doing the classic dual reality bit. I would love to see what you guys have to say in the comments. So make sure to put your ideas in the comments so we could go back and forth and then maybe come up with something of relevance here. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing all the things that people do. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are still around for the end of the video, where I have a little bit of an outro here. I already ranted about the bank situation. I already ranted about my tumor situation here that's taking place in my face. I don't know if there's anything else left to rant about. And don't lose your wallet. Don't lose your wallet. And now I'm upset because I lost a very significant wallet, a pink pig-shaped wallet. I'm very upset that I lost it. I want to make one out of Louis V fabric. I want to get a Louis V fabric and make like a substantial piggy wallet, but I never did it. I never did it. I should have, though. But I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Make sure to always get your neck checked. Get your neck checked so it doesn't look like mine. And hopefully I could actually make another video because I'll be alive. So make sure to get your necks checked. Smells like whiteout.